Hello everyone, Chima here, back with another LEGO Legends of Chima review. Today I have set 70014, the Croc Swamp Hideout, with 647 pieces, 5 minifigures, and released back in 2013 as a part of the second Chima wave of that year. This set was a part of the pretty big haul that I got a few months back, or about a month ago or so, and I am now finally reviewing it. So let's get on to the review. And actually, before we get onto that, I just want to point out that there are a few missing elements. I'll point them out as we go through the review, but there are a few missing weapons, missing pieces, all that stuff. But I'll get onto that, or I'll get into that when we, get onto something that's missing. So yeah, but let's just dive right into the review. So starting off with our first figure, we have a Lennox. This one is slightly unique, just with the silver armor plate. But you already know how he looks. Really nice minifig. He should have a little blaster with him too, but I unfortunately do not have that. So that's just one of the many elements that are missing in this set. But just a minor element, nothing too crazy. Yeah, really good figure on and all, or overall. And yeah, nothing too much to say about him. I believe I've reviewed him in a couple sets already. I could be wrong though. But yeah, you already know how Lennox looks. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. Alright, so here we have Leonidas with the really cool Valius. It's really cool that you get this piece in the set, but it's not too rare to find in some of the smaller sets. Probably my least favorite lion figure. It's really just this face print, which is so derpy and goofy, but especially this one here. But still, really cool figure. I believe he has the same torso print as Lennox, or like slightly modified, but yeah, and then the same legs that we see on basically all the lines except for Longtooth. And yeah, nothing else much to say about him. Really basic figure. You've seen him in a couple of the reviews. So yeah. So starting off with the Crocs, we have Krager. This one should have a little axe, or he should have a little axe on his Vengeance here, but unfortunately he doesn't. Still though, it's it's one of the many different Krager weapons here. There's one with the I believe the same weapon, I think, just without the hilt, and then obviously the one with the gold Vengeance there. Yeah, really nice figure overall. I love Cracker a lot. Really cool figure. The cape, which is also really nice to touch here, and the gold armor. There's his face right there. Yeah, just overall a really nice figure. So now let's move to the next one. So next up is King Crominus. Now you'll probably notice that he has a few compromises here with a different staff. This is a somewhat more accurate to the show, but yeah, he does have a bit of a different one since I don't have the original. And yeah, just thought this one would work. And he does have, instead of the Krager cape here, he should have the same cape. He unfortunately does not. I don't have a second one actually, and I do, but it's just ripped up and really tattered, so I didn't want to use it. Instead, I just used this Lego Friends one, which works the same. Honestly, it's still a really nice one. Yeah, and then here's the face print there, really nice. And some of that torso print and leg print right there. Yeah, overall a really nice minifigure, and you got that gold detailing there on the teeth, which is really cool. So now let's move on to our last and final minifigure of the set. So here we have Krug, probably the most unique Croc because he's the only non-green Croc in Chima. So that's really cool. He should have a small little blaster, but unfortunately I don't have that. So it's just the minifig himself here. You can see that nice like scale print on him, really cool. And then here's the face with the really cool silver jaw. It's really nice. And yeah, but not much to say about him. Pretty basic figure. So now let's move on to the actual set itself. So starting off, we have the really small, tiny, oh my gosh, lion boat. Yeah, lion boat. This one's really cool. But still, really small little vehicle. Up front, we have a couple teeth, a couple joysticks right here. You can actually fit Lennox inside of here, just like so. And he's supposed to be rescuing Leonidas. And then over here, on both sides, you could just have 2 flick-fire missiles, along with a little propeller right here. So you can, flick those off. I'm not gonna bother flicking them off. I don't want to hurt my fingers here. But, yeah, just a really nice little vehicle. And yeah, that's all the lines get. It's really simple. But yeah, now let's move on to the actual star of the show here, the Croc Swamp Hideout. So here is the Croc Swamp Hideout. Just slightly adjust here. You can see the rest of that, just the rest of the crane, and then the rest of the little blaster right there. But yeah, so this is one of my favorite Chimas of all time. I believe I mentioned that a couple times in the haul video. Yeah, it is a really, really nice set. With a lot of fun play features inside of it. So let's get started. Sorry about that. Had a couple camera issues there. But let's get started with the front. We'll just move in right in the middle here, off the side, and everywhere else. So let's dive right into it. So up front we have a couple red torches here, I guess, well, reddish-orange torches here. Pretty cool. Then we have a small little pathway with a couple gold grill pieces there as well, and some brown plates. That is out of focus, jeez. Couple teeth in the bottom jaw here, which is really, really nice, and a mixture of that green, that dark green, and that olive green. And then over here we have a couple of these little compartments that can be opened here, and they are just representing the, the crocodile-like claws. Over here we have a couple of bits of debris, I guess, or foliage, just with the little swampy kind of piece. I forgot what it's called, but you have that on both sides. And over here we have a nice little tree. It's not the best build, but you know what? It works. It works for 2013. And then we also have a couple of those small, ugly rock pieces right there. And we're just going to get up right in front of this thing and show off what is probably my favorite feature of this set. So right here is the snapping jaw. You have a lever in the back here. I'm going to reach back here, and I'm going to pull down, and it just snaps its jaw. Just like that. And you can just simply bring that up like so, and then there's a clip on the back and a bar. Interlock with each other and hold this thing in place. So let's just do that again. Boom. Then boom. Alright, so let's continue on to the rest of the bottom section here. I'm going to try to move my camera back a little bit. Right here we have a small little compartment, and I believe I have a minifig. Yeah, I have a couple minifigs in there. I have a couple Crocs in there that were not supposed to be there. Just had them on for display. But removing those guys, we have a small little secret entrance over here. You can just slide that rock open, and you get onto here. We're going to get onto the interior a little later, though. But now, we're going to go ahead and move on to the top of the build. So starting at the top, we have the little, I guess, not really a throne, but a little area for King Crominus to stand right here, a little podium. So you can just pop him right there. There should be a couple stickers here. Unfortunately, I don't have those, but there should be a couple stickers on these little banners over here. And then you also have a couple staircases leading up to that podium right there. And then here we have the really cool little crane. Goes up pretty high, but I'm going to lower that right now. And you also have a winch piece right there, one of the little rope pieces there to elevate it. And you can go ahead and put Leonidas in there, just remove his sword, pop that down, and you can pop him in like so. And then you can raise this up by a little lever, and then bring that all the way up right there. And I thought I'd actually mention this side here. There is nothing on this side if you were wondering. So yeah. And let me grab him out real quick. So, he just fell. But, let's move him. So now let's get into the cool feature of the set, which is the little blaster right here, the little missile launcher, I guess. So this is a really cool feature. You have this, that's out of focus. You have this little mag right here with 4 of these little old style flick fire missiles. And basically all you do is press this little lever in the back and you launch those out. I'm not going to retrieve those right now, but you then pop this out right here, load your missiles in, and then you pop that back in and then just start firing again. And that is elevated right up here. And then the mag just drops down right here. So that's the top of the set. Now let's move on to the interior of the set. Starting with our first room, we have the blacksmith or armory, I guess. I'm just going to leave a little light in there. But as you can see, there's a little anvil over here, a small little fire pit, and then you have a few clips over here. You also have a few clips that can put weapons on there. So, for example, I have a spear right here. You can just pop that on right there. And I usually like to have Leonidas' weapon just kind of tucked on over here in the armory. Right next to that, in the middle, we have a stand for the chi orb. Now, this should be a golden chi, but unfortunately, I do not have a golden chi piece with me, so I just decided to use this regular blue orb. It's good enough, I guess. And then over here, here's one of those other spears. But we have a little control room. There should be a sticker on there with a little computer screen of sorts, but unfortunately there isn't. And you can actually go ahead and put Croc, or really any minifigure that you'd like, over here on this really interesting seat. But yeah, there he goes. And yeah, that is about that for the interior. You're mainly meant to really focus on the exterior of this set, not so much the interior. So yeah, but besides that, that is the entire set. So now let me go over the manuals and then my final thoughts. So you get 2 manuals in the set, 1 and 2. This one is a pretty small manual here, only about, let's see, about 38 steps of building. Then you have an advertisement for the Lego Chima online game. And I believe that's the only advertisement in here, yeah. So we have that, and then just a small little Lego Club advert there. And then for our second manual here, I believe there's 1 advertisement in here. I could be completely wrong, though. But this one you have about, let's see here, 65 pages building, and yeah, 65 pages building, and then all of these sets right here, and then the entire wave there. And I just realized there's a third manual. Can't believe myself, I was tweaking out. There's a third manual. Let me grab that real quick. Cannot believe I forgot about the third manual of the set, but here's the third manual of the set with 61 pages of building right there. All of your pieces, And then I believe no advertisements within this manual. Let me just double check. Yup, there are no adverts. Oh, there is a figure advert here. You've seen that plenty of times, but this is a much grander scale. Yeah, that is the manual, so now let's get on to my final thoughts of the set. Overall, I think this is one of the greatest LEGO Chima sets that has ever been released. You just have so much to do here, I feel. There's so much play value within this set. Great minifigures, and a lot of great pieces too. You get so many great pieces in this set, but so much fun with this thing. I remember I had so much fun with this thing back when I was a kid, and it's just great to relive that once again. Yeah, there really isn't much else to say about this. I've said so many things about this set already, and yeah, but overall, I hope you guys enjoy this one, and I will see you guys in the next, well, review, haul, who knows, but yeah, in the next one. See ya.